Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is that you are listening, folks. Thank you very, very much for listening. Today is the 22nd of September, year of our Lord 2025. Welcome to yet another edition of the Coping Hour, hosted by Nicholas Hinkle, a.k.a. Motown Noah. Taping this on the 21st night of September, and I do remember. So I don't know, maybe something will happen halfway through the episode. We get Men in Blacked halfway through the episode. Maybe we won't remember. I don't know. Use the timestamps to your advantage. Do we get Men in Blacked in this episode? I don't know. It remains to be seen. But right now, I do remember the 21st night, September. They just did that song here in Chicago during Lollapalooza, so like a month ago. Sabrina Carpenter, the girl's girl of pop music, brought them out for, was the Earth, Wind, and Fire, brought them out, during Lollapalooza, during her closing set for the weekend. So they were just down the street just the other day. Nice little Sunday afternoon here. Didn't watch that much ball today. Not that much football, at least. I did watch soccer. I watched Manchester City and Arsenal this morning. As a citizen here, not a gunner, I'm a citizen. Probably went as well as you could have hoped. I think it went about as well as you could have hoped if you're a City fan. You're right there. Oh, you're so close to getting those 3 points. And I think if Haaland doesn't get subbed off, I'm confused why he did, honestly. I what I assumed at the time and what I still assume is that he got subbed. And I'm not going to make this whole thing about soccer. Don't worry. I'm just saying, like, what I assumed at the time and what I still assume, because I haven't seen anything like in the media about it, is that he got subbed off because City was committing to, like, all right, we're not touching the fucking ball in this game. The possession is goddamn 80-20, and it has been for the last 75 minutes. If we're going to do defense, then let's just do defense. I'm blanking on who got subbed in for Haaland, but you just figure, 10 minutes later, Arsenal has the equalizer, and I don't know. You just wonder if Haaland was in there, is there a little bit more juice in there? Maybe there's not, honestly. Again, the possession was it was bizarre. In this game, and the shots on goal, I think by the end of it, maybe City only had like 4 or 5 chances at it. So really, I watched that, and then we were out of the house all day. I caught some of the early slate in the NFL, and then I caught the tail end of the Bears game. So the full second half, Bears and Cowboys drove past Soldier Field, like right on Lakeshore Drive. You just drive, for those familiar in Chicago. You literally drive right next to the stadium. Like, you can put your hand out and touch the fucking stadium. Well, we have to drive past that to come home. And it was weird doing that and driving past it and being like, whoa, like Dak Prescott is right there. Caleb Williams is right there. Ben Johnson right there. Everybody's right there right now. Had no idea what the score was. When we get home, we're bringing groceries up in the elevator. We got the whole family going up the elevator. Guy watching the game on his phone. I go, hey, what's the score? And he tells me, he goes, 17-14 Bears. He goes, man, I need this one. He goes, the last 2 weeks have been the worst 2 weeks of my life. That's where Bears fans are at. If you're a Bears fan, I mean, I don't mean to like sound like I'm just saying this to like make a joke, like a crass joke. I'm not saying, I don't know how else to say this. That was porn. That's really all that was. That was the fan fiction that Bears fans have been writing for the last, year plus since Caleb got to Chicago. It actually just happened. And I got to be honest with you, I'm happy for Bears. They murdered the Cowboys, murdered Dallas at home. I got to be honest with you, I'm like happy for them, because is there really a better team to be playing if you're, watching, if you don't care about the Bears, Ben Johnson to get his first win, and for Caleb Williams to play the best game that he's played in the NFL so far in his career, then against the Cowboys? Because who cares? You know what I mean? Fuck them. That's why. Who cares? It only would have been funnier maybe if it was against the Packers. But it's like, even if it was against the Packers, well, then somebody would have emailed me about it, and I would have had to deal with that, and I wouldn't have cared. I would have been hitting the L on that emailer. But when it's the Cowboys, no, man, Cowboys fans, I don't know. I just don't think they're as loud and proud these days. They're really not. I'm not saying that Cowboys fans don't exist. Of course, they're like the most represented American football team in the entire world. Cowboys fans exist, but I don't know. I just think against the Cowboys, it's It couldn't happen to a team that it matters less. You know what I mean? It's perfect. I love it for them. Love this for Bears fans. Love it for them. Caleb really did look good, man. I mean, he looked decisive. He looked calm. He looked collected. And again, it was easily the best game that he's played in the NFL so far. And then I don't know what else was it. We talk about the NFC North. The Packers, I guess, lost to the Browns. I only saw the last few sequences to the game where the Packers go to kick a field goal to like win the game. It gets blocked by the Browns. They got 21 seconds to get like 10 yards and no timeouts. I guess they got that. And then they kick a 55 some odd yard field goal to win the game. And the Packers lose. Okay, that's pretty funny. It seems like it was a pretty wild day for football. It seems like it was really wild. But also I felt terrible. So CBS, they had their A team, Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson, the main CBS crew in Minnesota. They were doing the Vikings-Bengals game, which 2 weeks ago, right now, was a great game. It was a great game. It's like, whoa, J.J. McCarthy, through the first few weeks, what will he look like? And, this Vikings team, can they repeat what they did last year? Can they build on what they did last year? Versus a Bengals team, and they're healthy, and they kept their guys, they kept T, and they kept Jamar, and it's Joe Burrow, and what can it? 2 weeks ago that was a good game. Today it was Carson Wentz versus Jake Browning. Yikes! Also, was not a good game. Also, wasn't close. Who was the kid on the Vikings defense? Is it Isaiah Rodgers? Is that his name? Had 2 defensive touchdowns. Whoa. He had, and they said this on the broadcast. I think Romo said this. In the second quarter, he had 2 defensive touchdowns, and he was like, dog, he is going to win the defensive player of the week, and he could not play another snap for the rest of the game. Did he get another touchdown in the rest of the game? Did he get another touchdown? Okay, so the Vikings are up. That's too bad. Again, seems like a wild day for football, but I just didn't really watch that much of it. I'm taping this just right before halftime. Harrison Butker just made it 6-0. Sunday night football, so I'm not going to have commentary on the actual game because as I'm taping this, it's still happening. It's halftime right now. But I do actually have some stuff I want to say kind of about both teams, so I'm just going to use this as an opportunity to do it. And the outcome of the game does not actually matter. So by the time you're listening to this, you know who won, but it doesn't really matter for the stuff I'm about to say here. Just observationally about both of these teams. Where do we want to start? We always talk about Kansas City. Let's start with the Giants. We're going to talk about New York Giants' new sweetheart, running back from Arizona State, Cam Skattebo. Now, folks, if you're not familiar, maybe you don't give a shit about this at all. Maybe you're some guy's girlfriend and you're sitting in the passenger seat of a car right now. And you're like, I don't give a shit who this guy is. And I don't care where he went to school. And this is dumb. And I hate my boyfriend. And I wish I could listen to Sabrina Carpenter. And honestly, girl, same. If I could choose between listening to the show and Sabrina Carpenter. But anyways, let me just get back to it. So let me break it down for you real quick. Cam Skattebo, yeah, so he played ball at Arizona State, and he's got a really cool story. But to make a long story short, last year, his senior year at Arizona State, guy just explodes. Arizona State goes on a rocket. They're in the Big 12 championship game. Cam Skattebo just like wins the heart of America. Super hard runner, like basically just white Marshawn Lynch. You know what I mean? Like super sick. One of those guys that could very easily just end up being a guy who's like good in college and that's it. And then, okay. And then the Giants take a chance on him. They draft him. He's a late round pick on him in the draft this spring. And it's like, okay, well, that's kind of too bad that he's going to a team that they're not good and they're not going to be good. Like, that's too bad that he's not going somewhere where he could be like sick. Like, imagine a package if Cam Skattebo got drafted by the fucking Ravens. And it's like Lamar Jackson, and he's got Derrick Henry on his left and Cam Skattebo on his right. You know what I mean? Like there's a very obvious like hierarchy there. I'm not trying to like say that, you know what I mean? I'm just saying in terms of like the how all three of those dudes run. Imagine that being in the same package versus like Jackson Dart. Like I don't know. Like oh wow, that's very cool. So okay, so like what does he look like through the first few weeks? He looks fucking sick. Is what he looks like. Dog, he might be sick. I'm bearing the lead on all of this, by the way. This is the most important thing, and I should have said this at the beginning. I forgot. If I'm framing this for people who don't know who he is, okay, there's like a guy who's a running back and he's good. No, he's not. He's white. He's white. I buried the lead. I forgot to tell you. All of this, knowing everything that I just said, you were picturing a guy who was not white. I'm telling you, he is. He went to Arizona State, and now he plays for the New York Giants. White running back. And in the NFL, getting real touches, mind you. And he's going to break one off. He's going to break one off. I'm just saying, like, I'm saying all this just to say, right? I look at the Super Bowl, and I see a Cooper DeJean character that when he was drafted, we all said the same thing. Oh, my God, we got one. We did it. Representation. It's literally Black Panther. But it's Cooper DeJean, and he's a white cornerback, and he's playing for the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles, which is a defense that is made up of, like, a Georgia Bulldogs from the last, like, 6 years. It's like their entire defense, plus Cooper DeJean, who was really good at Iowa. And he was really good as a punt returner, too. There was one game, I was watching it live when it happened. There was one game where Cooper DeJean had a punt return touchdown to win the game. Got called back, I think, for a hold or something. I think that game was an upset, too. I don't really remember. I shouldn't have even brought it up because I don't really remember it all that much. But if there's an Iowa Hawkeye fan out there, I'm sure they're going to remember it. So, right, so I'm being really wordy right now. But, okay, Cooper DeJean, a white cornerback. That's not a thing that exists. Pick 6 in the Super Bowl. Pick 6 on Patrick Mahomes. And at the time, attempting for a three-peat Kansas City Chiefs. White cornerback, Cooper DeJean. Pick 6. Super Bowl. So what does that mean? Well, it's our position. That's what that fucking means. I don't make the rules. It's ours. That's ours. For now, we have the belt. Until somebody else that doesn't look like Cooper DeJean has a pick 6 in the Super Bowl. Listen, and it was also on Patrick Mahomes, and it's going to be hard for whoever else does this, right? Where's Jalen Ramsey right now? Well, this is a bad example because he plays for Pittsburgh, but I already used him, so let's just roll with it. Pittsburgh goes to the Super Bowl. Jalen Ramsey has a pick 6 in the Super Bowl. Well, it couldn't have been on Patrick Mahomes because he's in the AFC, so would have been like Jaden Daniels or Jalen Hurts or Jared Goff. This is not Patrick Mahomes. Cooper DeJean, pick 6 in the Super Bowl. So, again, saying all of this just to say, what would Cam Skattebo have to do to make it our position? How do we take the running back position and we take it back? When has it been ours? When does the running back position belong to white people? Even, I'm really trying to think about this on the fly. Have we really ever said that it was, even when Christian McCaffrey was doing like real CMC shit? You know what I mean? Not really. By the way, nobody says that white people we have the position now. I'm just inventing this as we're going along. Just to cover my bases. Nobody actually says that. But just for the sake of it. I don't know, even like Peyton Hillis, no. You'd have to go back to, I don't know, fucking Stoic Walker White? I don't even know. I have no idea. Who is the Maxwell Award? What's that guy's name? Was he white? I have no idea. I don't know what any of these people look like. Who's Joe Heisman? Well, I'm actually thinking of Joe Theismann. I was just making a joke about Joe Heisman. I don't know who the fuck Heisman was. Was he white? I have no idea. I don't know. Cam Skattebo. Well, I say the Marshawn Lynch thing. What if he does a damn Beastquake in the Super Bowl? Are you shitting me? And Beastquake, by the way, is a highlight that transcends like American consciousnness. Because you don't have to understand a damn dick or balls about football to understand. I could show. What's that island off the coast of India? North Sentinel? What is it? That island where it's an uncontacted tribe, and the only people who ever try to go there are Christian missionaries, and they get fucking murdered every single time. North Sentinel. If I showed up with an iPad and I said, I'm not here to fuck with you. I'm not here to teach you anything. Although if I was going to say I'm going to show them an iPad, them seeing an iPad, they would fucking explode and they'd kill me immediately. But okay, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'll use drones in the sky or fucking something. There's the idea. I use drones in the sky to show an uncontacted tribe the Marshawn Lynch Beastquake, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure was in the playoffs against the New Orleans Saints. The Marshawn Lynch Beastquake. They don't know anything about football, and they're going to be like, damn, that was cool as hell. They're going to be like, that was cool as fuck. Now, they're only going to say that after they're done chucking all of their fucking spears at it. throwing rocks. They probably got slingshots and shit like that. I don't know technologically where they're at now. Also, they got it kind of good because the uncontacted tribes in the Amazon, this has been a problem for the last like 20 years. With deforestation, they're getting like pushed out. So they're getting forced like to interact with society. And then they just die because they're not, you know what I mean? They're not what's exposed? Is that the right word? To fucking germs. Well, North Sentinel, I don't know which one to call it. Oh, it's an island. So like literally nobody fucks with them. Was it the Rothschilds? Rothschilds? Who was it that went to the island and got eaten? And he turned into people. Well, not he turned into people, but people turned into... I don't know how to say this. He got eaten. It's like a really... Rockefeller? Was it a Rockefeller? I think it was a Rockefeller. He went to an island and he got eaten. Cam Skattebo, if he does a damn beast quake in the Super Bowl, you're telling me that's not our position? I don't know. It gets me excited. What if he's good? It's going to stink. Because, again, he's on the Giants. Eventually, at some point this year, I actually like Jackson Dart. I like Ole Miss. I love Lane Kiffin. I'm actually not rooting for Jackson Dart to fail. I'm just saying. But even then, and look, the game is still happening right now, so I don't really want to talk about it while it's happening. But Russell Wilson this year, I don't know. He had the one game against the Cowboys so far where people are like, he turned back the clock 12 years to when he won a Super Bowl with Seattle. I'm like, Russell Wilson never in his fucking life has he thrown 11 passes, 20 or more yards down the field in a single game. 11 passes, 20 plus yards down the field in a single game? That's fucking insane. Russell Wilson has never done that in his entire life. Ever. 11 passes, 20 yards down the field? By the way, I racked up like 250 fucking yards doing that a week ago against Dallas and a handful of touchdowns. I think 2 of them to Malik Neighbors. So the shit that he was doing was that. So I don't know. This is clearly a season from hell from Kansas City. With the slate that we've had today, it wouldn't surprise me if by the time you're listening to this, it's like, yeah, the Giants actually found a way to win. I don't know. Nothing would surprise me. I mean, if any outcome, name an outcome, it's not gonna. I'm gonna be like, I could see it. If Kansas City, if you're listening to this and Kansas City is 0-3, whoa, scary hours, big time scary hours. Here's my thing. This is what I was going to say. And I'm done making the Cam Skattebo, like white guys are the best running backs. The white guys. So it's like the black Hebrew Israelites. Blacks are the real Jews. But I'm a guy who's like, whites are the real running backs. Look at Cam Skattebo. Christian McCaffrey, you ever heard of him? Peyton Hillis, you ever played Madden? He was on the cover of that motherfucker. Doak Walker. And then it's funny if I was like, Emmitt Smith, because it's kind of a white name. I don't actually, it's almost like, it's like tangentially related to the Chappelle skit. What is it? It's literally like the first episode. The blind white supremacist, a guy who's like, no, whites are the real running backs. And he always uses Emmitt Smith as a point, but he doesn't know that Emmitt Smith is actually, it's actually black. Something like that. Okay, all right, we're going somewhere with that. Well, we're not. We're done talking about that. That's what I was trying to say. We're done talking about that. And I want to make the point really quick about Kansas City. I don't know. Listen, on this show, I think I do enough to, like, gas Kansas City. I like them. I like making it known that I like them. I like, all this stuff. So I'm not trying to, like, make excuses for them. Again, it doesn't matter how this game went. No matter if they won the game against the Giants, no matter how they won it, okay, woo, you got out of there with a win. It's all that matters. If they're 0-3, again, for real, scary hours. Shit is real. But I don't know. I just think that it's kind of overlooked that after the Tyreek Hill trade, they just kind of stopped investing on the offensive end of the ball. Like, yeah, they've gotten Pacheco and I don't know, they like ended up with Samaje Perine and like that doesn't even fucking count. I don't know. Yeah, they did trade for DeAndre Hopkins last year. Like, yeah, for sure. And that like went pretty well, actually. That went pretty well until the Super Bowl. And I'm not going to be like, well, DeAndre Hopkins sucked in the Super Bowl. Everybody fucking sucked in the Super Bowl. Everybody on the Chiefs sucked in the Super Bowl. But he also sucked. You know what I mean? It's not like it was like everybody sucked except for him. That'd be a different conversation. No, he also sucked. What else did they do? Yeah, Xavier Worthy, great pick. Xavier Worthy, great pick. Great pick. And it stinks that he is still out. He got to play like one snap this season. Got a dislocated shoulder. We just still don't see him, which stinks because he's really talented, and last year had a lot of growing pains and had a lot of boneheaded moments, but he's definitely a good player. Hollywood Brown, another man's trash is another man's treasure, hasn't really come to fruition in Kansas City. I refuse to believe that he's bad, but everything seems to indicate that that's maybe the case. Like, the receiving core has just been so fucked up. Like, there have been years where the second best receiver that Patrick Mahomes is throwing to is fucking Sky Moore. What? That's crazy. I don't know, like, Juju Smith-Schuster. Dog, he's throwing to Juju right now. For real, he's throwing to Juju. Year 8 Juju. And I just don't think there's enough, like... Josh Allen has gone through some weird moments with his roster where it was like he's kind of throwing to Shakir and like that's it. And then, you know, they come to the rescue with not Dawson Knox. Who's the kid from... Who's the fucking kid? Who's the kid from Utah? Come on, bro. What's the kid's name? You loved him. He was Cam Rising's tight end, and you had him on your fantasy team last year. It's Dawson Knox and who? Oh, my God. It's going to piss me off. You went to Utah. You know at home that I know, all right? You know that I clearly know who this is, and I'm not stalling for time to think about this, by the way, because I can't. I'm focusing on what I'm saying right now. I can't possibly think about it. I can't think about it. But he did go to Utah, and he was Cam Rising's tight end, and now he plays for the Buffalo Bills, and his name isn't Dawson Knox. What the fuck is his name? But I can't ruin the show. Can't ruin the show for this. They got him, whatever his name is, and it's not Dawson Knox, but he did go to Utah. What the fuck is his name? Let's ask Siri, honestly. Siri's on a hot streak on this show. We haven't asked her anything in a couple episodes. The most crucial piece of artificial intelligence in our rapidly expanding digital culture. Let's ask Siri who the tight ends are for the Buffalo Bills. Hey, Siri, can I ask you a question?
Sure, just ask.
Who are the tight ends for the Buffalo Bills?
These are the listed tight ends for the Bills.
Dalton Kincaid. Oh, my God. The weight lifted off of my shoulders. Dalton Kincaid, and I bet if I tapped on his name there, it would say that he was a tight end and he went to Utah and that Cam Rising was his quarterback. So I'm really sorry that I just completely stopped the show, halted it in its tracks to do that. And so they get Dalton Kincaid, and they get Keon Coleman, and they get it back on track. And then James Cook, and that pick is working out. And okay, so Josh Allen has got some stuff again. Joe Burrow, it's never really been an issue with him, right? And he's got Jamar Chase, he's got T Higgins, and I don't know, and Lamar Jackson, I don't know. That hasn't really been. You could make something of a case with his receivers, but it's not the same as Mahomes. It's not the same as Mahomes. And Mark Andrews has been rock solid. I don't know. The last couple of years, he's been kind of up and down. Isaiah Likely hasn't been able to play at all this year yet, I don't think. I don't know. I just what's the take here, Nick? I just think that people shit on Mahomes and his numbers specifically. Like, people talk so much about, like, well, I don't know. You look at Mahomes these last few years, his numbers, they just keep going down and down and down. I'm like, he's not fucking throwing to anybody. He's not throwing to anybody. And it's not even weapons. They're not investing in the offensive line. Like, I think they just drafted a guy. I think he went to Ohio State. I know week 1 he was pretty decent. Against the Eagles, I know he was pretty decent. I don't know about his, like, fucking pro football grade or whatever the fuck, but what my eyes told me. But what's crazy to me is we're in, like, year 4 of Jawan Taylor. I'm telling you, I don't know how this guy is still in the NFL. I do not know how he's still on a team, much less on the Kansas City Chiefs. A team that I, at least in my head, imagined demands a level of excellence. And I just think a guy that false starts every other play and holds every 6 plays and does hands to the face every 15th play. I'm fucking, oh my God. They do nothing for him. And I swear to God, this general manager, I don't know who their GM is. I swear they're just making Mahomes do, like, they invest on defense, to be fair. And it's been focused. They've focused so heavily on keeping, the core of Mahomes and Kelsey together, and which makes sense. And they want Chris Jones, and they want Karlaftis, and they want, I guess, Bolton. I don't think is really. We haven't gotten too many issues with Bolton, and they got guys on that defense that they locked down. And I don't know. I just feel like the positions that, because it's like you want this motherfucker. You want Patrick Mahomes to be able to give the ball to a guy out in space and have that guy actually use the space. The guy is Juju Smith-Schuster's son. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm like, you can talk about Mahomes' numbers, but you've stripped it of its context. But and I hate to sound like the guy who's like, stop making fun of Patrick Mahomes' numbers. Like, they're not actually that bad. Which they're not, by the way. Because, like, a down year for him is throwing fucking 35 touchdowns. Like, that's crazy. It's like when Erling Haaland has a bad year. Oh, he scored 32 goals. He didn't score fucking 50. Oh, okay. Okay. I don't know. Leave Patrick Mahomes alone. It's like leave Britney alone. Leave Britney alone. What do you think they're up to these days? The leave Britney alone person? COVID probably killed them. Had to have. If you told me, let's go. Okay. Oh, whoa. Okay. This is really what the show is for. We cover all the biggest stories. We cover them from all angles. But every now and then a hypothetical pops into our head. All of the, 2005 to 2012, YouTube, memes, back when, a meme was different than what it is now. Who is the most likely to have died from COVID? So I'm thinking, Grape Stomp Lady. It's inconclusive. I don't think we know if she could have died from COVID. And Boom Goes the Dynamite. That guy and Boom Goes the Dynamite. No, that guy was so nervous. He was so on edge. He was so twitchy. There's no way he died from COVID. That guy, he was probably one of the fuckers that was stealing all of the toilet paper. Remember how that was a damn epidemic? The first week of COVID when you would go to these ravaged grocery stores. What was it? It was the toilet paper. It was the toilet paper that you couldn't get any of. It's probably that guy. No, it wasn't him. Charlie bit my finger. Oh, well, they definitely would have been adults by that point. Probably would have been at least 18 at that point. Good kids probably lived. Good kids probably lived. That's a good hashtag. Good hashtag. Good kids probably lived. Who's another one? Hide your kids. Hide your wife. That guy's dead. That guy did not get vaxxed. No way. Antoine Dotson? Was that guy? No, Antoine Dotson is that's Jahan Dotson. That's what I was like. Antoine Dotson. That might be his name. Hide your kids. Hide your wife. Or that's the schmoyo. I'm saying fucking gibberish right now. I'm not saying words that are real. Hide your kids. Hide your kids. Hide your wife. I keep doing the song versions. Hide your kids. Hide your wife. That guy's dead from COVID for sure. Tourette's guy. The character Tourette's guy. Did he die from COVID? Oh, yeah. Yeah, he didn't get vaxxed. Well, but this isn't who got vaxxed and who didn't. It's not, but I'm saying, the reason I think that the hide your kids, hide your wife guy died from COVID is the same reason, actually, that I think that Tourette's guy died from COVID, which is they didn't get vaxxed for different reasons, probably. There is some connective tissue into why they didn't get vaccinated, but they didn't, all the same, regardless. But it was that they each individually went to super spreader events. Right? So Tourette's guy probably went to a fucking monster truck rally with 10 people because it was COVID, Well, that's not super spreader then if it's 10 people. Yeah, I don't know. Where did hide your kids, hide your wife go? Probably something, I don't know where he would have went. Not sure. Okay, what are some other ones? Come on, Nick. We got the ball rolling here. Susan Boyle. Well, she is real life. She wasn't really a meme. I mean, she was. Also, she's a real person. Susan Boyle's a real person. She's dead, I think. I'm pretty sure she passed on. Susan Boyle. I don't think it was because of COVID, though. Well, let's ask Siri. It's been a couple of years, I think, since she died. Hey, Siri, can I ask you a question? Oh, that's okay. Hey, Siri, can I ask you a question?
Ask away.
When did Susan Boyle die?
Susan Boyle was born the 1st of April, 1961, and is 64 years old.
So she's alive. And then so it was, okay, and then she just didn't respond. It was doing a little circle like she was going to respond, and she just fucking hung up on me. She's like, yes, dumbass, she's still alive. Okay, well, Susan Boyle is still alive. That's, as we suspected, she's still alive. She did not die from COVID. This was such a good idea, and I just totally tied my own shoelaces together and started running away, and I fucking tripped, and I fell down the hill, and I looked like a stupid asshole and started throwing shit all over the place. Come on, Nick, think of more people. Gingers do have souls. Did he die from COVID? That's a tough one. Gingers do have souls. I gotta tell you, I think I can say this, and this isn't, I mean, it's fucked up, but I think I can say this, and like, it's whatever. Because I knew about that guy. It was a big deal. It was like maybe like 2009 when that kid happened. Gingers do have souls. That kid fucking rocked. Copper Cab. I knew about that kid, and then he went on Tosh.0, and that was crazy. And then South Park did an episode about it. And I remember when South Park did an episode about it, it was when the prejudice became real with me. And when I was in middle school, I fucking hated it. Like, it worked on me. It worked on me. And the irony didn't make sense to me. So I was like, oh, okay, so people with red hair are fucking freaks. So when I was in middle school, I didn't fuck with people who had red hair because South Park brainwashed me. And then also the Copper Cab thing, the gingers do have soul, the source material of the actual episode. You know, I say all of this out loud, and it actually doesn't sound very lighthearted or funny at all. It sounds fucked up. It's true. I don't hold that prejudice anymore. I'm an adult. But when I was a kid, I was like, I remember one time I posted on Facebook. I literally just posted. I was like 12, maybe. And I posted like, gingers don't have souls. And one of my friend's dads messaged me on Facebook. He was like, and he had red hair. He was like, hey, that's really not cool, and that might hurt people's feelings. I think you should take that back, and I think you should apologize. I was like, no, shut up. Again, in retrospect, this sounds so mean. It kind of is. I mean, it kind of is. I guess it kind of is. I guess using the Tosh.0, like South Park, like pipeline. I'm actually done with this segment. We've done enough. I don't want to just keep doing this. copinghoursubs@gmail.com, spelled phonetically, email available in the description wherever it is that you listen to this program. Let's do this one from Vince. Vince, welcome to the show, brother. I should give some context to this one first. So I don't actually know how to say his name. I don't know how it's like Sixlack, how you're supposed to say it. Like, it's black, but no, it's not. It's Sixlack. So it's D4VD. Is that David? I've always said David. I've never known if that's actually what it is. I'm just letting you know right now, for this, making it easy. I'm not going to do the Sentinel thing again, where I say both, like a multiple. I'm just going to be saying David, okay? And I hope that that's what it is. So if you don't know who he is, musical artist, kind of like Steve Lacy a little bit, singing guy. He's got some good songs. They're very like TikTok-y, and very like TikTok montage-y. And they're good. He's got some good songs. I don't know, maybe like 2023 I found out about who he was. I've never like really fucked with, but I know who he is. Well, like 4 days ago, he's on this world tour right now. And like 4 days ago, there's this report that comes out that his Tesla is like impounded, and then there's like a body in it. And people are like, what the fuck? Like, that's weird. And we find out immediately that David is... I'm going to feel like such an asshole if it's not David. But it has to be, and I just have to be confident that it is. I've never known. The media report was that he was cooperating and was like, what the fuck? This is crazy. Like, do whatever you need to do. Like, this is wild. And I was like, okay, like, we'll see this through. Super long story short. The body in the trunk, the woman was identified. She's like a kid. And it seems like it is a woman that he has been in a relationship since she was like 13. And she was dead in his trunk, and he like got it impounded, and people think that's like part of it. Listen, I found out way too much about this. Way too much about it. And then Reddit thought that I kept wanting to see more about it. And so like all of these subreddits kept getting recommended. We had to block all of them. I don't want to know any more about this. I don't care. I mean, it's fucked up. It's horrible. It's terrible. But like, I'm good on this. Like, I don't need to see people like throwing their vinyl away of like this guy. You know what I mean? Like shit like that is what I mean. I don't need to see people's response to this. It's terrible. And it seems pretty open and shut. So we got an email about that. All right. And that's where we're going with it. Hello, Nick. I hope this email finds you well. I wanted to write about something that perhaps is a little bit controversial, or at the very least, maybe a bit too soon. The rapper David was arrested for murdering a girl, and I don't think I need to say it. First of all, I don't think that's true. I'm just gonna break the email. I don't think he's been arrested yet, has he? You might be fucking right, bro. I just need to put the fries in the bag. Back to the email, and I don't think I need to say it, but obviously what occurred is awful, terrible, bad. The meat of my take comes in when I take a look at his song, Romantic Homicide. I never much cared for the song. I always thought it was catchy, but never on many of my main playlists. I'm sure you've heard the tune. Some of the lines are, quote, in the back of my mind, you died, and I didn't even cry, unquote. Or, quote, in the back of my mind, I killed you, unquote. And then, boom. He is getting arrested for having a body in his car. The take here is the emotion, and more specifically, the real emotion that he is putting in the song is so real and freaky that it elevates it to the highest degree possible. I firmly believe that the more raw emotion that is dumped into art, the better the art comes out. You truly can feel it like its energy is being transferred. To a certain degree, I think I've always felt that emotion in the track, and maybe that's what kept me away from it. Too sad and too real. So yeah, just wanted to get your thoughts on it. If it's kind of fucked up to think that a song is sort of a masterpiece, trust me, I don't support what he did whatsoever, but I do think the song is a 10,000 times more powerful. From Vince. That email was not at all what I remembered it being. It's not at all what I remembered it being. I mean, I'll still do it. It just kind of really threw me for a loop. That's not what I thought it was gonna. That's not how I remember that at all. Are you crazy because you think that a song is good because it turns out he was talking about like some real shit that he did for real, or was premeditating to do for real? No, I mean, would you call him a rapper? I don't even think he's a rapper. Maybe I just haven't heard the right songs. I didn't think even the song you're talking about here, he's singing. Does he rap? I don't think he raps. Like he does like guitars and shit. This is like a guy is black and somebody's like, he makes music and somebody's like, he's a rapper. I don't think he raps. I kind of want to just like start playing a bunch of his songs. I don't think I've ever heard, every song I've ever heard from him is him like, it's a strummy guitar and him being like, do, 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 do. You know what I mean? No, dude, you're not crazy. You're not crazy. And even then, like, I don't know if this is maybe, again, you want to talk about a take that I don't know if this is a nice take, but it's also like, what do people get mad at when it comes to like real raps? People get mad when the shit that somebody's talking about in a song is something that they clearly know nothing about and they haven't done. Right? So when 21 Savage is talking about like killing somebody, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, probably. You know, even to give Drake credit, like people always think like, I like Drake with the melodies. I don't like Drake when he act tough. Like people hate when Drake does like the mob shit. I'm like, well, I don't believe that he's pulled the trigger and killed somebody, but I would believe that he's had somebody killed. Now, some people are going to hear that and be like, well, obviously he killed XXX Tentacion. I'm not here to litigate that. That's not me. That's not what I'm doing, right? And even beyond that, which to this day, I still don't really know where I sit on that. It's weird that Drake has alluded to it, seemingly, so many times in his music, like repeatedly. Like he kind of just keeps doing it like it's the most open secret in the world that I don't actually know if I believe that but again, don't fucking send me the TikTok conspiracy. Don't send me that shit. I don't want it. I don't care. We've been there. We've done that. And at this point, we're never going to fucking know. Right. Well, I don't know. I believe that he is actually, has some shit like that happen. I'm saying all of this just to say Well, it's fucked up and it's terrible. But no, I don't want to finish this take. You know what? And I'm bailing on it. I'm halfway through the backflip. I'm bailing out midair, and I'm just gonna belly flop into the water. I'm not gonna finish the take. Because it's terrible. I mean, they canceled his world tour. He's being pulled from all these festivals and all of this shit. It's crazy. I can't imagine. Whenever somebody's like going through something like this, I always just imagine what they're experiencing at that exact moment, like what the feeling in their stomach is. All of these screenshots have come out about him and like Discord and messages that he sent, and how he's like, yeah, when I was 14, I was addicted to gore videos. Okay, cool. He's like, yeah, when I was 14, I saw cartel videos. Like, cool, bro. Like, I don't know. I think like those people are the ones who have a lot more tame reactions to when you see somebody getting shot in the neck and an artery or a fucking whatever gets popped and, Kool-Aid comes out. Like, for most people, for anybody, that's really fucking hard to see. But, like, I just hate when you see somebody, like, flex. Like, I watch a lot of dark shit, like dark web shit, and I still get fucked up all the time because, like, it's still violence and it's still horrible. You know what I mean? And so I get so grossed out by that. I'm addicted to gore videos, so I don't remember what they were talking about, but somebody was talking about something like gross. So that's why he said it. This is where I'm going with it. He's like, I'm addicted to gore videos, so I just like, oh, cool. So you're not affected by seeing something fucked up. Like, cool for you. Kudos. And yeah, a guy like that, commits this horrible act of violence. He like grooms a minor. Some rumors out there. It's gross. It's terrible. It's disgusting. I don't even want to put this shit out there. It's terrible what is being alleged happened here. But no, look, it's not a great time to do but you do separate the art from the artist. It's not a good time to do that. It's not, but you do. What's the guy's name? YNW Melly? Yeah. Yeah, insane, freak, fucking psychopath. But I mean, Kanye is the example here. By the way, Kanye West is the example here. Art from the artist. Nazi? Yes. Real Nazi, not like liberal media Nazi where it's thrown around. No, like that's a real Nazi for real. Yeezus, one of the best things that's ever been made ever. Period. Separate the art from the artist. And even, like, obviously you can go further back than that. College Dropout, you do all this shit. But even, like, Kids See Ghosts. Oh, my God. Him and Cuddy. Oh, my God. So good. And that was it for me. That was when I stopped caring. After that, I don't think anything else has been good. People love to do the Donda thing, and people love to do all this shit. Nope, I'm good. Kids See Ghosts was the last time. And I thought it was over at Kids See Ghosts. By that point in the timeline, I thought it was over. And that blew me away. That project blew me away. And I think some of that may have just been that Cuddy was in it and he was sick. But also, no, it was just a great little project from them. So I don't know. No, you're not crazy. Not crazy. I don't even think what you said, I don't even think is that crazy of a take. You could say that at a dinner table. I wouldn't bring up at a family dinner with my girlfriend's family. Hey, did you see this guy that raped and killed a teenage girl? He has a song that is it has 1 billion streams on Spotify. I'm gonna play it as my favorite song. I'm not gonna do that, and then when it's over, I say, see, he did all that bad stuff, but that song was really good. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that at the dinner table. But what you could say at a dinner table is, yeah, he did all this terrible shit and it's really crazy, because you go back and you listen to a song that he's made in the past, and you see how interconnected the lyrics to that song were to what it appears this a horrific and heinous act was, and there is connective tissue there, and how that is interesting, and sometimes lyrics like that give you a window into who somebody actually is before you find out who they are, the way that it appears we are doing with this David character. I don't think you're crazy. copinghoursubs@gmail.com. Spelled phonetically. Email available in the description. Wherever it is that you listen to this program. While we were doing that email, Lev sent in an email. 11-year-old field reporter Lev most recently sent in an email. He was at sleepaway camp, I think is what he called it. We went to a summer camp for a little bit, so we hadn't heard from him in a while. And I didn't get to read that email because he also sent that in while we were taping a show, and we were talking about Charlie Kirk getting his fucking head blown off. So we were like, let's not do this right now. But Lev, you just emailed in again. I don't know what this is. The subject line is a story about my friend. So again, our 11-year-old correspondent here at the Coping Hour has a story about his friend. This was sent in to us 12 minutes ago. Let's blindly read this, ladies and gentlemen. Lev, welcome back to the show, brother. Hello, Nick Hank. I wanted to tell you a story about my friend. I didn't ask my friend if it was okay for me to share this story with you, so I'm just going to call him Bobby. Okay, we're changing names, Lev. That is professional of you. That's good journalism. It's good journalism. You always want to change, if you don't have the full clearance, names, dates, and locations, Lev. That's what you'll always want to change. So Bobby, that's what we're going to call your friend. Bobby. All right, let's do it. So Bobby's parents went out to walk his dog in the evening when it was dark, but it still wasn't nighttime. Bobby has a Ring doorbell that you can set it for when it gets dark till the morning. Whenever somebody opens the door, an alarm goes off. So Bobby goes downstairs to get something and sees that his parents aren't anywhere, and he didn't know that his parents went to walk the dog. So he went back upstairs and gamed, and then the alarm sounded. He thought that it was the alarm for the Ring doorbell and that a kidnapper or a burglar broke in. So he went downstairs to check, and it turns out that it was his fire alarm. His mom left something on the stove and forgot to turn it off before she left, so it was smoking and the fire alarm went off. Then Bobby took matters into his own hands, and he ducked down low, turned off the stove, and his house and him were saved. The thing is that his smoke alarm, whenever it goes off, calls the fire department. So the fire department came and thought they were about to water down an entire building. But Bobby already did all of the work that needed to be done. So my question to you is, have you ever needed to call the fire people? And if so, why? Have a meaningful day. Thank you, Lev, for telling me to have a meaningful day at 9 o'clock at night. And thank you for this email, brother. What a story. What a story to liven our spirits on this Monday that you may be listening to this. Lev, and I tell you what, brother, I'm so glad you're not using AI to write your emails anymore, because AI can't write that. You know what I mean? That's a real thing that happened to you. And, well, your friend. I believe you. I believe you. That's a great story, brother. Thank you for that. Have I ever needed to call the fire department? I think I have before. The one thing that comes to mind, we didn't call the fire department, but we were the fire department. That's like part of the story. Is we were staying at a hotel. My friends and I were staying at a hotel. Sometimes, just as like a fun little like vacation, like a staycation, is that what it's called? We would just like go to a hotel in like a neighboring town and just, you know what I mean? Like just for a night and just treat it like we were. And one of the times that we did it, right across the street, there was a GameStop, and we were looking out the window of our hotel, and we saw behind the GameStop, there was like a little trash that was on fire. Like it was a little trash fire. And so we started running down the hallways of the hotel and through the lobby with like cups of water, yelling, "We're firefighters! We're firefighters!" And we ran across the street to this GameStop, and we threw water and stomped out this trash fire. "We're firefighters! We're firefighters!" And we just left it all fucked up everywhere. And then we went back in the hotel and didn't do it, and that was it. No, we didn't call the fire department for that. But we called one time but that was the police. So no. No, I've told the story before when we called the police. It was just that we thought we saw a wolf. We were like 9 years old. It was me and the same friends. We thought we saw a wolf, and then we found a guy's wallet. And so we thought the wolf ate the guy. And so we called the police. Where we lived, there were no wolves. There were barely coyotes. So the police came, and he has a little notepad, and we all stood in a line, and we told him that we all saw a wolf and that he must have ate a guy because we found this wallet. But Mr. Officer, we found this wallet and we saw a wolf, but we don't see the guy. I think he may have, and I don't want to jump to conclusions, but I think he may, and hold on and stay with me. I think he may have ate the guy. No, Lev, I've never called the fire department. I guess not. No, like kitten stuck in a tree story or nothing like that. It's a great email, Lev. This is a great email, brother. Thank you for that. Let's do one more. CopingHourSubs@gmail.com, spelled phonetically. Email available in the description, wherever it is that you listen to this program. This one is kind of more serious, but there's no other way for me to, I don't have anything lighthearted to otherwise end the show on, and we're not done with the show. So we still got some more time to, I don't want to say time to kill here, like I'm trying to get out of here, but I got nowhere else to be. Listen, I have nowhere else to be. I'm here with you until you get to work. I'm only taping the show until you get to work. Oh, you're already at work? Okay, that's fine, dude. Relax. Please take it down a notch. If you're already at work, I'm not just trying to kill time right now until we get to an hour. What I'm doing is making sure that you get through your shift. What do you mean you're not at work? You're at the gym? I could keep doing this. I could eat 10 minutes being like, oh, you're at the gym? I'm just here till you get through your session. What do you mean you're not at the gym? You're studying right now? You're in class right now? I could keep fucking doing this. I could keep doing this. I could kill 10 minutes. I could kill an hour. I could kill an hour just inventing places that you at home might be right now listening to this show. Well, at home right now listening to the show. There's only one place you could be at home. This is a serious email. And I want to, this is a serious email. Kind of. Look, I haven't done the Charlie Kirk thing in this episode. By the way, we're not going to do it here. I don't know if it gets brought up like explicitly, but we're not going to, if it does, we're not doing a Charlie Kirk segment here. Palate cleanse episode. We are talking about something in that world, but it's not about him. Don't worry. Even though his funeral was today, Trump said something so fucking funny. Trump said something so funny. Let me get the direct quote. Because it was interesting to me that Trump said something that you don't... Whatever. He said, Charlie Kirk did not hate his opponents. He wanted the best for them. That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent, and I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry. And maybe they can convince me that's not right, but I can't stand my opponent. And I got the clip here, too. I'm not going to play it. It's just what he says. That's a funny motherfucker. Very funny thing to say at somebody's funeral. But this is a very serious email. And it comes to us from Landon. Landon, welcome back to the show. Subject line, how these people get platforms. Hey, Nick. I ended up down a rabbit hole over the course of the last week from my fascination with how someone like Nick Fuentes can get such a platform and following. It's scary to me because I can see how in another reality I am a follower of his. I'm a conservative Christian, quote-unquote, nationalist. In parentheses, you said, so confused on how different people define that term differently. You said, so confused on how different people define that term differently. Oh, I see. Okay, I was just confused by the double differently. Anyways, you said, and I went through a bit of a time where I saw myself agreeing with Nick, but then he said something along the lines of, quote, America is a white country and its politicians should be white as well, unquote. And I realized that he's actually not a great guy, but his timeline of how he got to where he is very relatable to myself and a lot of men like me, which is how he got his platform. I'm also a white, conservative, Christian, college-educated man who used to love and support Trump, but then I slowly watched this figure in Donald Trump, who I looked up to reveal that he's actually low-key evil. And while I still had my conservative values, I grew a disdain for the Republican Party. Nick has the same story, but for me, it pushed me to focus less on my political views and more on my faith and values. For Nick and his followers, it pushed them further to the right. And I honestly empathize with that because I see how I was almost one of them. And it just goes to show how scary and powerful the radicalization of the internet politics is. My friends and I all hate politics. My friends all hate politics, so I needed somewhere to go on this rant. Thanks for being my go-to for my weird and slightly incoherent rants. Yeah, no, very good email. Very good email. Covered some ground there that I wouldn't be able to do. Nick Fuentes is a Nazi for real. Just get that clear. That's another one of those guys, by the way, like the Kanye thing, where it's like, it's not liberal biblicisms being like, that guy's a Nazi. No, words mean something. Words matter. If you're going to say something like that, they have to be a real Nazi. Nick Fuentes is a real fucking Nazi. And his boys are wild. They are wild. The problem with him is, like, he's so fucking funny. Like, there are out of context clips of him that have nothing to do with anything. And if you didn't know who he was and the shit that he, like, really says, there's a clip of him. It's like 3 seconds long, and it's of him talking about, like, Despicable Me. And he's just like, minions! And it's just funny as fuck. It's just really funny. It's just really funny. He's also just a really good speaker. He's a really good speaker. And the way I think, and this isn't really, it's not really a response to your email or anything like that. I'm just sort of using yours as like a springboard because everything you said was really interesting. But like when you talk about a guy like Nick Fuentes getting a platform and other more of these, you know, far right guys, like how do they, you know, cultivate these audiences? What they have going for them that like left wing, I don't want to say pundits, like creators, I guess. Like, I don't know, like Hassan, if that's what you creators, it doesn't seem like the right word, but what the right has is like they will go outside of a box. And so like, not to sound corny and talk about like when people are edgy and shit like that, but like, yeah, I don't know, that like expands sort of the idea of like whatever the box actually is. You know what I mean? And I think that in a sort of left-wing culture in America right now, not right now, like this has sort of been the thing, I think, for a little bit. Like you have left-wing counterculture that exists, like South Park. And South Park will say pretty outrageous things, but like that otherwise left-leaning people would be really offended by. But because it's South Park and it's a message that they otherwise agree with, they just kind of let it slide, right? Like even, like I don't want to say, you know, at the end of the day, Come Town was a podcast of like three guys in their late 20s or early 30s, like making dick and fart jokes. But the truth and reality is that like that was another form of like left-wing counterculture to some extent, where they like pushed an envelope and they sort of pushed the boundaries of whatever this, you know, whatever this box is, right? And so I think with a guy like Nick Fuentes, like I don't think he creates such a devoted audience. Well, I don't know, he's a bad example. I don't know who to use off the top of my head, but like what you see are people, and this is nobody in particular. I mean, this is literally everybody, right? You see creators draw an audience in with things that have nothing to do with anything political at all, right? And then you sort of, while you already have this audience, you slowly like inject ideology, right? Here and there. Sometimes it'll be super subtle. Sometimes it'll be super on the nose. And then like those people are just kind of ride or die for you. And then whatever like the messaging of whatever it is that you're doing ends up being. I was watching a whole thing about this. The way that I just explained it sounds like I'm a fucking third grader. But there's like psychology to it. I don't know. But it makes sense. And so a guy like him, yes, very scary. I think that he has, it's a big audience that he has. There's a lot of people that watch that guy. I watched somebody like uploaded the VOD of his Charlie Kirk is Dead episode that he did on, where is he? Rumble or Kick or something? I don't know where Nick Fuentes is. It's one of those. One of the fake Twitches where you can like say the N-word. That's where Nick Fuentes is. Somebody uploaded the VOD on YouTube, and in like, I don't know, it was like 2 or 3 hours, she was at like 100,000 views. I was like, whoa. Now, the truth is like there are some people that are just like me who are just curious, like, what does a guy like Nick Fuentes think right now? You know, a guy who is so publicly beefed with Charlie Kirk. I said we're not going to do Charlie Kirk, and it's not, but it's tangentially related. I'm not doing the Charlie Kirk thing. You know, what does he think right now? But 100,000 people, woo. You know, there's a big audience in America for people who bang the disenfranchised or disillusioned white man. Disadvantaged. That's another word. Disadvantaged white man. That's another like phrase that he's used before. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like systemically, yeah. No, that's not a thing. It's definitely not a thing. I don't like, how do I say this? We talked earlier, the easiest way I can illustrate this point. We talked earlier about Cam Skattebo and Cooper DeJean being white guys like taking over positions that have historically not belonged to people that look like me, right? And so I think what I'm saying here is that the reason that it matters so much to me, that Cam Skattebo is good and that Cooper DeJean is sick as fuck, is because culturally, I think we could use a few points. I think we could use a few. You know what I mean? I think we could use a few. Like, I don't know, the last time that a white person did something sick, Joey Chestnut it's just not a big enough reach. Like, black people don't care that a guy will eat 70 hot dogs. They don't care about that. Luigi, the guy who shot the healthcare CEO, people aren't really giving. I don't want to say what I was about to say. You know what I was about to fucking say. So let me just go back to like a different white guy who shot. Luigi is Luigi Mangione. You assume he's Italian. I get confused with Italians because they say they're a different race, or that's Sicilians that say they're a different. I don't know Italians. I don't know. I'm not going to say you're white. Maybe you're not. But Luigi is white presenting. That's a term that I learned. It's a term that I learned within recent weeks. White presenting. He sure is. So I think it would be nice. Again, just culturally, that's all that I'm asking for. I'll go down 2 pegs socially and economically. Wherever, I don't know where we are in the hierarchy right now. I'm not a working man. I don't know. I'm in the house all day. I don't know where we are right now. Are we up? Are we down? All I'm saying is culturally, this is what I'm seeing, is we're not. And I would like us to have a few. Shane Gillis, I think, helps. Because he operates on such an interesting, like, political line where libs think he's like owning the right because he's like making fun of them in their faces, and the conservatives think that he's owning the libs. It's bizarre as a phenomenon that both people are wrong. They're wrong. He's just a funny guy. Is that where we end the show by as a final thought, denouncing Nick Fuentes, but admitting that white people could use a bump culturally. I don't think that's crazy to say. How do I contribute? I'll sign a reparations petition. I'll sign up to 5 reparations petitions for any affected or marginalized groups in the United States in the last 250 years. I'll sign petitions for you. If we get... Oh, right. So what do I want, though? What's the trade? What do I actually want to happen? Is it Cam Skattebo doing a beast quake in the Super Bowl? No, because I don't want the Giants to be in the fucking Super Bowl. That's crazy. If he got traded somewhere cool, then he can do that. But no, then that would mean that the Lions aren't in the Super Bowl. Hell no. What white person do I want to be up? Who deserves it right now? Who deserves to be up? Liam Neeson kind of does. Well, he's sort of in his redemption era. I don't know. He's kind of past his redemption era. I think people are just kind of over it. We did the Atlanta thing and whatever. Come on, Nick. Think of a white person. Think of a white person that you want to be up. It's telling that I do all this and I can't think of somebody that I think deserves to be up right now. How about my fucking self? God damn it. How about me? I'm kind of up. I'm sitting down. You know, I'm seated. You know what I mean? I'm not up, but I'm seated. You know, could be worse. I'm not on the ground. I'm seated for real type shit. You know what I mean? Come on, bro. Think of a white person. I'm just thinking of like shitty white people. Like my brain just went to Tom Brady. I don't want him to be up. I don't want him to have a girlfriend. It's going to suck when he gets a girlfriend. Whoever that ends up being, whatever like 19-year-old kid that ends up being, it's going to fucking suck. Probably like some Israeli supermodel. Come on, Nick. Think of a white person. There just aren't that many. Not that I can think of, at least. How many white people are there? Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Brady, Brett Bielema, I don't Bono. I don't want any of those people to be up. I'm just going to have to sit here and name white people. Come on, bro. Like, if I thought of a different race, could I think of somebody who's an Asian that I want to be up? I almost said Anya Taylor-Joy. She's not Asian. Who's an Asian that I want to be up? Come on, Nick. Think of an Asian. Jeremy Lin just retired. Do I want him to be up? This is a terrible segment. I guess I can't think of an Asian either. Simu, what's the guy's name? I don't want to say his name. Who's it? Shang-Chi. Who's that? Simu Lee? Simu Lu? What the fuck is that guy's name? What's his name? He got hoed. Or not him. Who am I thinking of? Kumail? I don't want to say this guy's name. Come on, what's his name? Nanjiani? What's that guy's name? What the fuck? Kumail. Come on, what's his name? Guy from Eternals who got jacked. And then he's like, they signed me on to do 10 movies and a mobile game. And I never did any of this. I only did the one movie. And then they've kept me in the dark. I got nothing on my plate. I'm poor. He didn't say that. I'm embellishing that last part. But come on, Nick. Think of a white guy. If you want to make this deal, you're so focused on making this deal, and you don't want it to be Cam Skattebo, and that you brought this up, brother. So put a bow on it and fucking finish it. I can't do it. I can't for the life of me. I can't think of one white person that I want to be up. And I'm not doing I'm not Uncle Tom in this shit. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be oh man, we should kill all the white people. No, I'm not doing that. I hate my own kind. I'm not doing that. But also, I can't think of one. Come on, guys. I feel like I'm Dora. Like I'm waiting for you to yell it back at me through the damn TV. You know what I mean? I'm like, what? Who's a white person? And I'm like, oh, that's a good one. Like a damn TV audience. What if I ask Siri, name a white? Tom Hanks? No, nobody. Deal's off the table. I'm hanging up the phone. The deal's off. The deal is off, Jack. I guess that's it. If you're listening to this on Spotify, can you think of a white person that you're like, yeah, okay. How about no? Jimmy Kimmel? No, cuck answer. I mean, I want him to get his show back, but I don't give a shit if he's up. He's a millionaire. He's going to be a millionaire for the rest of his life. His fucking kids are going to be millionaires. He's up. He's been up. He's fine. Somebody that, isn't right now. Shia LaBeouf. No. Yeah. Fucking sure. I hope Shia LaBeouf, whatever he's got going on right now, I hope he's good. Apple Podcast. What's up? If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, nice little comment for the algorithm. Make sure to keep primary control in check. And I will catch you guys in the next one.
Beautiful. Primary control. Beautiful. Primary control. Beautiful. Primary control.